Hey, and welcome to What's So Cool About History. This week we're talking about Pompeii. Pompeii was a prosperous city during the Roman Republic and early empire, famous today for the fact it was destroyed by a volcano in 79 AD. Up until that time, it had been a coastal retreat with amphitheatres, gladiatorial schools and games, and some of the most well-kept and luxurious baths of the era. Wealthy and powerful Roman families would escape Rome to visit Pompeii and the nearby town of Herculaneum, normally during the oppressive summer heat. That all changed in the autumn of 79 AD when the nearby Mount Vesuvius erupted. Vesuvius was already famous for being the mountain cliff that Spartacus descended with his army during the slave revolts of the 70s BC. Small earthquakes occurred before the mountain finally erupted, sending ash, smoke, and debris into the sky, which ended up covering almost half the Italian peninsula over the coming weeks. It's thought at this time many people started to evacuate, but early the next day, extreme heat waves hit the nearby towns and cities, instantly killing anyone unlucky enough or foolish enough to have stayed nearby. Ash then settled over the town and almost perfectly preserving everything it covered. So what makes Pompeii so cool? Well, starting about 400 years ago, excavations have occurred uncovering the town and giving us an almost perfect snapshot of what a Roman town would look like. Buildings built over 2,000 years ago stand as they would have. Artwork has been preserved, statues still stand, jewellery is still attached to people, graffiti still sits etched into the cobbles or painted onto the walls. The roads, water pipes, even street signs remain. More than that, the outlines and casts of people that died in the eruption are preserved in ash that covered the city. One such person died still performing his role as a servant or slave, where he died getting the horses ready to take his master out of town. Unfortunately, the horses died with him, and yet they're still preserved as well. Excavations are still ongoing, with estimates that a third of the city still needs to be excavated, and who knows what else we'll discover over the coming years. Today you can walk through the town and see the great buildings like the Gladiator School or the Baths and some of the houses of the powerful families, still with their floor mosaics and private rooms as well as the servants' quarters. But even better is the common buildings like a food kiosk sitting on the corner of the road where stews were found preserved in their cooking pots ready to feed people for another day. And it's a snapshot of this daily life from 2,000 years ago that makes Pompeii so cool.